Now it's telling me. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me this week again for Let's Go There. And today my guest is Chantal, and her surname is really hard for me to pronounce. I'll let her do it herself because it'll be very embarrassing if I get it wrong, which I'm pretty sure I will. So today's topic is about honoring life without children. And it is it is unusual because people don't talk about it. They don't want to ask anyone about it. Why? Because I'm pretty sure most of the times because we don't know how to react if the truth was given to us. So before I go on, I'm going to go live into Facebook. I'll let Chantal tell you what she does for work and a little introduction about who she is.
Thank you, Karen, and thank you for everyone who's watching the live and replay. My surname is pronounced, Vanderhaeghen, and it depends actually which language you're going to speak it in, because I'm Flemish, French, brought up in Switzerland, in England, so it can be pronounced in numerous ways. So we'll go for Vanderhaeghen, so thank you. I have, over the years, always wanted to support women. And many years ago, I did my clinical aromatherapy, having been in the business world, had an unpleasant experience, stepped out into that, and I did Reiki, massage. And I'd always been working with intuition in those days. And then I started to develop a skincare range, because for me, it's all about women feeling beautiful for who they are. When you feel beautiful for who you are, you feel confident. And then that segued now into my psychotherapy and being a confidence and intuitive psychotherapist. Because I really feel, as I'm going to talk more about women because that's how I am and who I understand. We hold ourselves back. And I've talked about this a lot, Karen, is how we hold ourselves back.
We do.
We don't share things. We feel embarrassed. We feel ashamed. We need to be strong and independent. So we don't go and seek out help. And I really want women to understand it's okay to come. It's actually wonderful to be witnessed in a space where you feel accepted without judgment, with love. Because ultimately, in my training, we were taught the word, you as a person or me as a person, we are the expert in our lives. We've just lost sight of that. So when you work with, the way that I work is with person-centered, the person-centered focus. It's all about you. It's about you being able to come and share, about you coming back to your essence and your inner wisdom, because it's there. It's just we no longer believe it's there, or we've lost sight of it being there. So I work with women coming out of a life-changing experience. And as we talk about the topic, and I'm specializing with women without children, but specifically by circumstance, rather than pregnancy loss, because that's not been my experience.
Right. So we are now live on Facebook. So thank you for joining us live. So in order for us to fully appreciate why we are here having this conversation, I would like to ask Chantal to share with us why did she choose to share this very intimate part of her and make it now her life calling. This is what she does. And I've been Googling this because I've been trying to find the right space to put this very important topic. And you'll be surprised though, not many people Google it. No. Not many people talk about it. There is so much shame around this whole thing. Why though? I totally don't agree, which is why we have to talk about it. So let's start with your story. Why? Yeah, where did you get here?
How did I get here? Well, ironically, Karen, only recently, only just end of last year. And it happened to come about, I wasn't going to get a coach in my business. I'd been done. I needed to reset. I just needed to do, I was done. But again, starting to work with my intuition again, I decided to work with a beautiful coach who works with Akashic records, which tune into your past, your stories, your history. And it came through very clearly, work with women without children, because she knew that was my experience. And, it took me so by surprise, but my whole body went, yes.
Wow.
Why hadn't I thought of this before? So I'm 58 now. And I've been dealing with a lot of things up until now, my childhood trauma and my late father's unexpected death, which is now 22 years ago, PTSD from a car accident. So I've been dealing with all these things except for being a woman without children. Because we just simply don't, it's invisible. We don't talk about it.
We don't.
No.
I mean, I have friends who don't, I even considered being a surrogate, seriously, because I feel that this couple really, really, they deserve their children. They're so nice. But of course, they want to carry it themselves, which is fair enough. I mean, I love pregnancy because I love the eating part of it. So
I could just imagine.
I got huge. I
Wow.
got huge.
Wow.
Anyway,
Wow.
I had so much fun. I loved it. So it is, and the fact is this: nobody asked them, "How do you feel? Are you okay?" Because we're so scared that if we ask them the question, they're gonna fall apart.
Do you know what, Karen? I don't think it's even being scared. We just simply don't even know that we can. We don't even know how. So I think it's
That's
even more than
right.
that. Because what I realized was not only do you not know how to ask me, but I didn't even know how to talk about it. I didn't even know I had
Oh,
anything to talk about.
that's right. You're exactly right. It's the same thing when someone has lost. It's like, what do you say when someone's loved one passed away? Are you
That's right.
okay? It's rhetorical. It's like you feel stupid even saying, "I'm so sorry
Yes,
for your
that's
loss."
right. That's right.
It's the same thing.
It is the same thing. That's why I trained to become a counselor, to find, I did a lot of them naturally, but to really have the skills to be able to sit there and allow someone to be in that space without thinking I'm going to get platitudes, without someone going, oh, I'm sorry, when you think, asking questions. I mean, I can still do that because these topics are difficult to talk to. So it's been an interesting journey the last, 8 or 9 months of me, like you Googling, finding words. How did I feel? What did it mean for me? When I look back now, I had this realization the other day because I was thinking about our conversation. I was on my walk. Why hadn't I thought about it? But I've been dealing with all those, as I said in the beginning, all those other things. But what I realized was everything I did, I was driven by the fact I wanted to have children. Then it was driven by the fact I didn't have children. So I always filled my life up. So I kept it here. Because obviously childhood trauma is, obvious. Dad's death, dad died. Car accident. Okay, even though the PTSD was silent and the whiplash, but there was that. There was nothing. When I look back now, when I was told at 40, I was 43 when I was finally told that, because I was going in actually for a sperm donor when I was 41 and ended up in hospital with a major breakdown. So obviously at that point I didn't get it. Universe, intuition, guides were actually telling me not to go down that route. Because it was only 2 years later when I went to a specialist GP around hormones. He was amazing. I could never have held a pregnancy. I could have fallen pregnant, but held a pregnancy because my body had already started going into perimenopause.
Right.
Okay. So it was then when finally I couldn't have children anymore. Now, even though he was an amazing man, an older gentleman at that, which was incredible, and he held me beautifully, he never said to me either, go and get counseling.
Funny, isn't it?
And I never thought to have counseling. So I had a big cry in the car, big, those lovely, ugly cries that you get.
Yeah. With the snot and all, and the wailing. Oh my
exactly
God.
right. The wailing and the hiccuping and, all that sort of stuff. And I think my partner was looking because we were fairly new together, only a couple of years, and he was old and and then that was it. That was it. Yep. So I've carried this low level of sadness and regret for many, 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 many years. And it's only now am I healing that and being able to look back. Did I actually really want children? Because this is a thing, Karen, in our society. It's so pro-natalist. Everything is about having children. And also our bodies are made for that. We are made to procreate. So we go right down to the basic biology. We are made to procreate.
Yeah, we're even given the desire and the, trust me, I know. I've got teenage boys. I know all about, I know about. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
No, we won't go there. I suppose you see. So part of me feels sad that I can't go there. I won't be. And part of me goes, oh, thank goodness. Now that I had also, the other thing is, we're now going, I'd romanticize what it was like to have children because I never got beyond that beautiful sense of having a baby and all that sort of stuff. So, so coming back, everything is geared around that Mother's Day, maternity leave. There's now even paternity leave. You look at all the ads, you look at all the shops. It's just magazines. We're saturated with it. And now I read somewhere and it was really pertinent. In my day, until we had social media, we didn't have it in your face and women covered themselves up. You wore smocks and frocks and you didn't show that you were pregnant. Whereas nowadays, women are proud.
That's it.
You stand there half naked, which is wonderful. So it's really in your face. I didn't have that experience.
Yeah, that's right. So in the same token, also allow me to share with you how I tried to make my friend feel better for not falling pregnant. They've gone through IVF and all that. Actually, a few of my friends have done that. And in hindsight, when I look at them, I thought maybe there's a reason why people, there's a reason. That's okay. So I try to help her by saying, you know what, children changes your life. Is this what you really want? They change your life in ways you'll never even begin to imagine. That's hard. And she's like, she doesn't know how to take it.
No, because you don't.
Like, you have kids, and now you're telling me, you have a child. But I said
exactly.
But exactly right. Her, though.
Sorry, gets me excited and wound up.
I know, but it's the fact is this. But growing up, I never thought I want to have children. I'm not good with little children. I don't get them. I just don't get them. You already know I'm very impatient. Yeah. So you have to be patient with this thing who doesn't get me. I'm like, no. So my boys survived beautifully, and I'm grateful. So I'm better with them as they grow up. When they're adults, I converse with adults a lot better. So when I try to explain to her, I mean, she did accept, because I'm not the type that pulls up photos and says, oh, look, and I don't do that. I'm very aware, and I don't talk about my kids in front of friends who don't have children, because they're not interested. They're not interested in kindergarten. They're not interested in nappies. I can still be me though with them. So tell me, could I have done that better?
Absolutely. Or better. I mean, look, differently, I should say. Mm-hmm. Because when you are really wanting to have a child and you're trying so hard, and then someone comes and says that to you, you just sit there, and I won't say the word, you just go, what the...
You can say it on my channel.
Yeah, that's right. And we won't, but now I can hear that, because now I can look back, and I'm wondering now, as I've been doing my own healing on this, did I actually really want children? Or was it I felt I had to have children, or because everything is around that? So if you say that to me now, I'd go, yeah, actually, I can hear that. But at the time, it's just so confrontational. And for me, it'd be like, well, it's easy for you to say you've got them.
That's right.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege. You've actually had the privilege of them.
That's right.
I don't want to hear how, whatever it is. I couldn't even hear it, because the sadness and the distress and the feeling isolated, I feel very lonely. Yeah. I didn't realize, that's the other thing, I didn't realize how lonely I was.
Absolutely.
Until just recently, because I filled my life up with all sorts of other things. And the other thing I didn't feel was I didn't feel free. See, like, oh, you're so lucky you've got time and freedom. No, because in my mind, everything I did was around
preparing for that moment.
Exactly right. Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
So even when I was saying it, I can hear myself, and I thought, really, are you going down this track? But I just truly want her to know, because she knows me so well.
Yes.
That she knows that whatever I say has got I mean it.
Yeah.
I said, they do really change your life. Yeah. They do. Is this really what you want? And I like it that just now you just said it, that when you look back, when you actually think about it, tear away everything else, social expectations, everything else, that it's your job as a woman to have children. Do you really?
That's right.
Do you really?
Yeah. And I think coming back as well, there's no right or wrong. I believe, for me, I wouldn't have asked, I wouldn't have liked to have received it, shall we say.
Yeah.
No matter how well I know you or not, because I don't understand that concept of what that's like. I still don't. I never will understand that concept.
That's right. It's something you have to go through. It's like depression. Someone who's never experienced it, and you try and tell them, someone who's never experienced it, look at someone who is depressed. They just say, you just need to pick yourself up. Just get up.
Yeah, that's right.
Because until you walk in those shoes, you will never understand it. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that. It's true.
Yeah. It is
until
true.
you walked in my shoe and know that it was difficult. It's hard because it's something you desire versus something. I'm trying to tell you that what you want is not that great, but it is what you have been brought up to believe, that this is what you want your whole life, and for something you have been preparing for your entire life. Yeah,
that's right. And see, the other thing what I realized is, and that's why I also went into businesses, I wanted to belong. I wanted to belong to this group. So even, people have asked me to be mumpreneurs. Can't you read my profile? No, I'm not a mother. I'm still getting someone coming to their baby group. No, read my profile. Sometimes I feel like going back and saying, have you read my profile? Particularly recently, because I've got it written there. It's very obvious. So it's thoughtless. We are thoughtless in this space. And I can be thoughtless too. So it's because we've not had time to share and talk and have these conversations around it, to bring it, to give it life, to give it breath, to give it a voice. And that is why I appreciate you doing this, because I realized, as I said, everything I did was underlying. I had this need to belong. And that also came from childhood. So there was other issues underlining
so normal
here.
though. Yeah.
Because of what we'd experienced in living abroad and all sorts.
Yeah.
Then I realized when I was, again, walking the other day, and this is why I do like insight meditation and why I bring that into my work, because when you can sit quietly or walk, tune into your body, I went, my gosh, I have been driven. I thought I was being driven for other reasons. Yes, but I was also being driven because I desperately needed to belong. But I thought it was for this. I didn't realize how much it was actually this. Because coming back to what you're saying, I can't talk about kindergarten and pregnancy and, babies not being well and vomit and whatever else you want to have and dribbles and, all these sort of things. And then going into puberty and, all this lovely boy smells and, all that sort of stuff. I don't have.
Eek. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Eek. So what women don't, also what you don't realize is, and I didn't realize fully, was you're not invited to those things. Or even if you are, you're sitting there for half an hour. I don't mind sharing the stories because I think, oh, yippee, I love to feel, your joy and your whatever. But it's like, okay, what now?
Yes, that's right.
I'm simply not part of the conversation. That's not deliberate. It's just out of awareness, and we don't have anything in common.
That's right. The thing in common. Exactly. Yes. That's exactly right.
Yes. So that's why Tracy, and she and I got to know each other over the last couple of years, but she's also a mother without children, but for different reasons. She's had it with pregnancy, miscarriage. Why we have come together to create a group, a community. So we're doing it as individuals, but we're also doing it together. So we had a sense of belonging. So we've been able to share, and now we can give other women that sense of belonging.
That's right. That's right. So now that we have come to this point, I want to also say that although you've provided the space, though, how many people actually dare come in? They don't even know they need the healing. I'm telling you.
That's exactly
it's
right.
almost like you had a sore tummy and then you've gone to the toilet and it's done.
Yes.
You don't go and investigate why, is it something you ate or something? You just don't. It's almost like you just disregard it.
Yes.
It's just part and parcel of you just disregard. I didn't like that. That's why we're having this conversation today, because I know that women need to heal from it.
We do. And we all need to heal from it, because what I'm finding is, obviously I'm getting more responses from mothers, because the percentage, I realized the other day, more women are with children than without, even though the percentage is growing, and younger women are starting to think about it, and families, whether they should have children or not due to climate and things like that, which I find fascinating. But that is exactly right. How do I reach you? How do I get you to understand that? Because I didn't get it.
That's it.
And also, it's also, even I realize the work that I do, I can work with mothers, because it's about you really understanding, who are you? Did you just follow? And it's no disrespect to whether you love your children or not. So I make it very clear that's not the issue.
It's
about, have you followed social norms? Are you even being the mother you want to be? Or are you following in how you are meant to do it?
I love it. I love it, because that is a question. How many got stuck on that question? Are you the mother that you want to be?
That's right. And again, there's shame around that too, to go, oh, I can't say that because, oh, I'm meant to love my children. I'm meant to be the good person. I'm meant to be the perfect woman. When deep down, I'm sure there's times where you've resented, you felt angry, your freedom is gone. And that doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means that you're a human being, and this is how you as a woman or a person are feeling. That is where I take you, is to that place of, how are you really feeling?
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because so I moved to and fro from Singapore, for work, not my work, husband's work. And our last stay in Singapore, we had a live-in nanny. So I know at the beginning of this conversation, I already told you that I know I'm not good with young children.
Yeah.
So I chose to go and pursue my education. And then my children are staying with the nanny at home, of course, living. Then I had a friend one day told me when I published my parenting book that you don't deserve to publish this book. So I said, why did you say that? He said, you're a bad mother. You're not there for your children all the time. I said, I'm a good mother because I know what kind of mother I want to be. I cannot be with them 24/7 because I would be a monster. I don't know how to deal with them. I'd rather my time with them be quality versus quantity. But not many people can understand that. And trust me, so many people have judged me for it though. But I know me, I will be no good to them. Their memory of me will be, I'm constantly upset, I'm constantly angry. What is the point?
Exactly. And this is why I love our conversations and love who you are, because this is what's important about breaking that cycle of how we are meant to be. It comes from religion, it comes from culture, it comes from race. It doesn't matter what shape, size you are. It comes from, I said religion, education.
Oh yes.
It's macro. It is micro, macro. You're bombarded with, and therefore, and because people need to box you, how dare you, Karen, step out and do that? You're not fitting the norm.
That's
right. See, for me, it was the opposite. And this is why I admire you. I couldn't do that. I was so busy. And also, again, childhood stuff. So I couldn't stand firm. I so wanted to belong. Because I was always the foreigner. Even born in Australia, my dad was French. In those days, foreign name. Moved to Switzerland, foreign. Plus the violence in the home. Safe, not safe at home, not safe. Again, to England, I was still a foreigner because we'd come from Switzerland. Came back to Australia, I never fitted in properly because I had a plum in mouth English accent, still have the foreign name, a little bit better 35 years later. So I've always had this need to belong in a community. Then, as I said, so I went to uni and even, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't know how to be able to stand firm as you have and then stay with that you didn't capitulate. And see, most of us women do, because we're not taught how to create our own foundation of going, I know who I am and I'm owning who I am. See, now that I've been doing that more and more, stepping into that leadership role, stepping into myself, what a difference. I can say yes, I can say no, I'm a lot stronger. My wording is different.
Yes,
how I share of myself is different, because that is what I want to show you as women. We can have this. Each one of us can have it, but it's your choice.
That's right. That's right. But they rather sit in the familiar discomfort.
Exactly.
The familiar discomfort. They rather stay there than step out to the unknown where it's exciting.
Exactly. But you don't see that as excitement. As you said, took me a long time to see that as excitement. Whereas now I'm like, I'm loving, and I'm calling it, I'm going down the road less traversed, because it was traveled through Scott Peck many years ago.
That's right.
And now I'm finding I'm excited because I know I've got my intuition, I've got my spirit team around me, I've got my support system I'm building, even the physical one around me.
That's it.
But I also have myself. See, I've come back into, now that doesn't mean if I get a negative comment, I'm not going to be thrown. I know that. But it's such a powerful place to come to. And that is what I want. I want, that doesn't mean they want, I want women to experience and feel, but you have to go into that space of discomfort to finally see it's exciting, because you are now creating your life on your terms, in your own way.
That's right. So that was where I started when I came out, and I thought, this is what I want to do. I want to give them that freedom, because I keep, over the years, for the longest time, I keep having people tell me, I love what you do. I love that you're just you. How can we just be you? When I tell them how, they're like, oh, it's too scary, or it's too much.
Too hard, costs too much. It costs money, time, energy. But in the end, what I realized was, if you don't do that, it will cost you more in the long run.
Correct. But some
way
people
more
would rather that. So I've learned to accept, though, that those who are ready will come.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's all you can do, because the other thing, when you first start out, you get so passionate, excited that you go bleh over people, because you so want them to have that. And they're going, oh my God, because do I like it being done to me? No, I don't. So, it's that.
Just back it up. Just back it up.
Exactly right. So you need to back off me, and I need to back off you, and that's where the humbleness and humility comes in, that it is truly each person's own journey. And I've realized, as I keep saying to you, it's your choice. Only you can make that decision, no matter what I say, you say, the world says. Only you can do that.
That's
and
right.
that takes courage in itself, because once you've made that decision and if you accepted you needed help, that is actually when so you've had the journey to get here, or the, you know, path to get here. This is just the beginning.
That's right. That's right. And knowing that there's someone like you out there, because people feel that if I were to step out of the unknown, the discomfort of the unknown, when I come through to this side, I'm alone because I'm leaving everything I know behind.
That's exactly
but
right.
You're not alone though.
That is the iron. That's what I realized. I was more alone when I was in it than I am now, because I wasn't residing in my heart and
That's
in my
right.
body. So I've never felt less alone or even less lonely now than I've ever done.
It's true, because it is true that
Yeah.
the minute you embrace who you are, you start to attract people who are like you.
That's right.
Yeah, and you do. That's the amazing part. I mean, it took me a long time because everybody kept telling me, you can't be like this, you can't be like this. I'm like, meh, I don't know how to be anywhere else.
That's right.
I just don't. But that was hard. That so many years was difficult, because to them I was difficult.
Yes, exactly right. And that's coming back to that sense of, again, how we judge each other because we don't fit. So I've judged, still can. That's human nature.
Yes.
But I'm learning more and more powerfully to be able to see, I might not like who you are, I might not accept who you are, but it doesn't mean I just walk away.
That's it.
I just walk away because I realize I've been doing that, just going, you know what, not my type of person. I don't like it, but I don't need to judge them and criticize and comment. I just walk away, and I have permission to do that. I give myself, and that can be family members, it can be relatives, it can be friends,
That's right.
clients, whatever.
That's right.
Again, your choice.
That's right. So I want you to now speak to the people who are watching. What can they do though, if they're friends who, you know, don't have children, or if they are themselves don't have children? What do you want them to do at this point?
Well, look, if they feel comfortable, listen, obviously keep listening to this, and join our Facebook group if they wish, if that feels resonates. Have a 15-minute chat with me. You know, just start. Oh, how can I put that? Because that's also, yeah, that means would be work with me, obviously, if you wish to. But I have some beautiful, like a lovely ebook that I've created, a free one, about going from loneliness to connection. You know, there's lots of ways. Or just sit down quietly, put your hand on your heart, and just sit and just allow yourself to start feeling. That's the start. And that's the start of my ebook that I've created, my workbook, is just sitting quietly with yourself and tuning in.
Yeah.
Particularly even if you've chosen not to have children. There was the woman who counseled me and is now my supervisor. She also didn't have children. She did it by choice.
Yep.
However, when she also came to that moment of not being able to have children, she had a moment of grief. Had I made the right decision? So it's really about you just sitting down and just really starting to have the conversation with yourself. Do you want to, or don't you?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then that's where the healing can actually begin. If you think that it's over and, you know, you don't feel anything, you're okay, think again.
Exactly. Think again. And thank you for pointing that, because I did that no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Because everyone else says I'm fine. When I realized end of last year, in fact, I was not fine. I pretended, because I kept putting layer upon layer upon layer. And then what really brought it up, and again, you look at my YouTube or whatever, Tracy and I did a conversation about leaving a legacy and being the elder woman, and where do you documents? Who do you leave your will to, your estate to? How do you fill out all these? So that's a whole nother conversation. But so, you know, so I kept denying that, kept putting it off, because it was too, and I started getting major panic attacks until this year. And I went to see my psychologist, and she said, you've got to put your paperwork in place. I did it last week, and I can't tell you, Karen, the relief, because I kept wondering, who do I ask to do this?
That's right.
Who do I ask? And people say, oh, I don't want to burden my children. Well, who are you going to burden?
That's it.
It's a huge responsibility to ask someone to take on. That's a whole nother conversation that we can go down.
We can definitely go down there.
Yeah, but it's confrontational. So it's confronting mortality, which a lot of people can't. And it's confronting, well, who do I trust enough to do all my financial stuff? Then it's your legal guardianship. So it's all about your body.
That's it.
And your health directive, you know, how you want to die eventually.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Very-
So, but the bottom line is, if you think, just sit quietly with yourself, and if you think you're okay and you are honest, though, I'm asking you to be honest
That's
with
it.
yourself,
Exactly.
because
And
something can be done about it.
Exactly right. And it might not come in the first go, because sometimes we're so numbed out. It might not happen in the first go. You might need to keep sitting down, but don't give up. Just keep sitting there, because eventually, this is again why I use the tools that I do in the work for myself and clients, is because eventually something will start stirring for you of some sort.
That's it. That's it. Even with a slight annoyance on Mother's Day, if you did go out on Mother's Day and you're thinking, shit, why is everything booked out? And you're annoyed, like seriously, of all days, that annoyance it's something. It's a red flag.
Exactly. It is a red flag, because there's something about you that you are not. Yes, there's annoyance, but it's actually what's happening here. Is it hiding anger, grief, resentment, jealousy? You don't know. But these are also the emotions we all don't talk about.
No.
I'm such a good girl. I'm not meant to feel that. You know, that's shameful. That is why you come to someone in a professional capacity. That's where right. It's okay to feel the anger and the shame, and you're going to be held and witnessed and seen. Very powerful.
That's right. And I love talking to Chantal always, and we can talk for hours. So she will leave her contact details in the comment section so that you can find her. And I urge you, though, that this part of you needs to be set free, and you have no idea what's in store.
That's right. And that is, like, you come back to, that is when you feel a real flutter of excitement. I feel that now. Because my words are, you go from connection to love to freedom. They're the pillars.
I love it.
When you get that sense of freedom, that's when the excitement comes in and the adventure. And you don't need to know the known.
That's it.
And that goes anathema to everything we're taught in business, at
the
school.
Freedom from, the regret and, what I didn't have it. And all, it's regret is the worst of all.
That's exactly
You want to be free from that.
Exactly. And now because I know now when you feel free, you can start releasing those regrets, and then, well, what is it I really want to do? Like for me, it's now artwork. I'm wanting to do all sorts of different things that I held myself back on because I didn't allow myself to do that. That is where the freedom comes in, and the adventure and the excitement and the unknown.
Yeah. Okay. Are you looking at this? This is real excitement, though. This is real freedom, because she's so excited she cannot contain it. That you cannot bluff.
No.
So yes, with that, we will wrap up today's interview. Thank you so much for sharing with us this very, very intimate topic and how it's affected you. And I really hope that this will reach a lot more women and that they can be in touch with you and you can help them.
Thank you, Thank you, Karen. And what I'll do is I'll put my Linktree link in, because then it's got everything there, and then you can go and have a little look and choose in your own time and in your own way. And then whatever sings to you, join the group, sign up for my freebie Facebook page.
Yeah, help yourself. She'll put up her Linktree, and then you can go and help yourself.
Exactly right. Exactly.
That's right. We like helping ourselves. So thank you again, and I'll be back next week.
Yes. Thank you.